Hey guys, today we're going to talk about some basics with scientific notation. Now, we've dealt with numbers with exponents before. Again, just to review, we have our base number here, okay, and we have our exponent here. The only difference now with our scientific notation, we're going to be using a decimal point, which is going to go behind the first significant digit, and then we're going to have this times 10, and then remember, our number system is a base 10 system, and that is why it is times 10. So in this case we have 3.579 times 10 raised to the 16th power. Okay? So let's talk about some positive exponents, like this one that we just looked at. And we have this number up here, 3.417 times 10 to the third. Now, how do we write that out in expanded form, or standard form I should say, so it doesn't have scientific notation? There's two ways to do it. We can take the base number here and multiply it by the times 10 raised to the third power, or in that case multiply it by 1000. Or what we could do is take the decimal point and move it to the right, because it is a positive number, or a positive exponent rather, move the decimal point to the right according to the exponent. So we have a 3 here for the exponent. You can see down here as well. We can take the decimal point and move it 1, 2, 3 places, like I have down here, 1, 2, 3 places, and get 3,417. So with positive exponents, we're going to be moving to the right. With a negative exponent, we're going to be doing the opposite, and we're going to be moving to the left. Okay? So in this case I have 5.963 times 10 to the negative fourth. There's that negative exponent. So we could divide the base number by 10 raised to its power, so 10 to the fourth power, okay, and then divide 5.963, or we can take that decimal point and move it to the left according to its according to the exponent. So move it 4 times. So if we look down here, we have 5.963, and that's times 10 to the negative fourth, so we're going to move the decimal point to the left 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, as we have down here. So the decimal point is going to end up further out, and in between the decimal point and the first significant digit, which is a 5, we're going to attach some zeros. And in this case, we're going to attach 1, 2, 3 zeros. So we'll end up with 0.0005963. Alright, so taking a standard form number, which is what we're used to working with, and putting it into scientific notation. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to move the decimal point so that it is right after that first significant digit here. So it's going to end up being between the 1 and the 3 in this case. So it's we're going to move it, start from here, as we have down here, and move it 1, 2, 3 places, so it ends up between the 1 and the 3. Okay. After that, we're going to count the number of times we move the decimal point. In this case it was 3, and then we can attach a times 10 to the end of that. So we now have 1.357 times 10 to the third. And if we take this decimal point and move it to the right, because this is a positive exponent, 3 times, we'll end up with our starting number of 1,357. And so we'll look at a few examples of this. For example, if I have 0.0000742, I need to get that decimal point in between the 7 and the 4. So I've got to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I'd end up with 7.42. Again, attach the times 10, and we said that was 5 times, and since this is a small decimal number, we're going to put that negative sign right there. What if I have 150.22? Well, I need the decimal point to be between the 1 and 5 here, so we're going to move the decimal point 1, 2 places to the left. Okay, so we'll end up with 1.8 5022, attach our times 10, and we moved it twice. Remember, this is a positive exponent because if we move it 2 places to the right, end up with our standard form number. Okay, we'll end up back where we had begun with 150.22. With 0.53, I want to get that decimal between that 5 and 3, so I move it 1 time. So I end up with 0.53 times 10 to the negative 1. Say, okay, it's a negative because if we move the decimal point from 0.53 to where it had been, we're going to move it 1 space to the left. And then if we have the number 15, okay, our decimal point in 15 is after the 5, and we want it to end up in between the 1 and the 5. So we move it 1 time, end up with 1.5, again, times 10 to the first. Because if we take this decimal point, move it over 1 place to the right, we'd end up with 15. Okay, folks, that will do it, and we will see you in class. Oos!